Maintaining accurate quantity of your products on a marketplace is essential. ChannelAdvisor provides a number of ways to manage your inventory quantities across multiple marketplaces. The amount of quantity allocated to a marketplace can be controlled in one of three ways. The Send All Available Quantity setting is used to send all of your available quantity for an item to a marketplace and is generally used if you want to send these to one marketplace only. An example of this setting can be found in our software for these marketplaces. The Set a Maintain Level setting will send up a predetermined amount of quantity to the marketplace depending on what is available. This limit will be set for all of your items being sent to the marketplace. If you have fewer quantity available than this specified limit, we will only send what is showing as available. For example, if you set this option to maintain a quantity of 5, but you only have 4 left in the available column for that item, we will only send 4. We will never send more than what you have available to sell. Please note that using this option for the eBay marketplace, along with an additional feature called our Inventory Juggler, will generate different results in your inventory count. An example of this setting can be found for these marketplaces. The Specify Quantity using a custom attribute setting will pull the quantity to maintain for a product from an inventory attribute. This setting is especially useful for sellers that need to differentiate high-volume inventory from low-volume inventory. For example, you may be very deep in quantity for your polo shirts, however, other items you might have limited quantity of. In order to ensure the right amount of quantity gets sent to each marketplace, you will create an inventory attribute for each marketplace with regards to quantity, like this. This feature works similarly to the Maintain setting mentioned previously, whereas we will only send the amount of quantity you have available for that item, even if the number in this attribute is higher. We will never send out more quantity than what you have available to sell. An example of this setting can be found for these marketplaces. For some marketplaces, you can also define a buffer to keep a minimum quantity of your product in inventory. This will allow you to reserve quantity for another marketplace. When the available quantity for a SKU reaches the value defined in this setting, we will update the quantity of your SKU at the marketplace to 0 so that it can no longer be purchased by consumers. This setting can be controlled in one of three ways. If this setting is used, then no buffer will be created within the system when your quantity is sent. With this setting, the same buffer level will be used for all your items on the marketplace. This setting will pull the buffer level from each item. You'll need to set up a custom attribute for each item to use this setting. Let's see a couple of examples of how buffers are calculated. I have an item here with a quantity available of 10. My quantity setting in ChannelAdvisor for the Amazon marketplace is configured to send 5 of every item. My buffer is set to keep 3 available. Before we send inventory to the marketplace, we will calculate out the number from the buffer setting. So, I actually have 7 available to list to this marketplace. Since my actual available quantity is more than 5 after the buffer is calculated out, ChannelAdvisor will send all 5 to the marketplace. In this example, I'm using the same quantity settings, send 5 to Amazon but keep 3 available via the buffer setting. However, for this item, I only have 6 available in stock. When the amount from the buffer is removed, I will actually only have 3 available to list on Amazon. As a result, ChannelAdvisor will only send 3 instead of 5. Traditionally, when you list an item to a marketplace, the item is allocated or set aside to that marketplace and not available for any other marketplace. What is unique to our Buy.com, Pixmania, Amazon UK, Amazon France, and Amazon Germany, and our Amazon 2.0 solution is that we allow customers to decide if they want to allocate their product which they send to the marketplace. It's important to note that while this option is available, if you choose not to allocate the product, you could find yourself in a situation where you sell more than you actually have available. The Do Not Allocate option will allow inventory to be sent to the marketplace and not be decremented from the item's available quantity. If this option is selected and an item had an available quantity of 1, that item may be listed to another marketplace. When using this option, you should also be aware that if the available quantity is already 0, the item will not be included in the feed. If the item is not available, our system will not send it. The Allocate All Products option, when selected, will allocate quantity and decrement it from your available quantity. This option allows you to define, at the SKU level, whether or not the item will be allocated. If you create an item level custom attribute like this, you could define whether or not you want to allocate the quantity for an item at the item level. Using the value of true or yes will indicate the quantity will be allocated. Using false or no as the value will indicate the quantity will not be allocated.